What did that performance by Fried mean to this team this afternoon to be able to salvage a series like that?
Wow, that was just incredible out of him, especially coming out. We lose the first two games of the series, kind of down. Offense really isn't getting much going, and then for him to come out there and, give us some strong innings, some big outs on his end, even when he got a couple guys in scoring position, got a little trouble, man. He really buckled down and helped seal it for us there. That was really impressive.
What impressed you most about his stuff today?
All his pitches were working. He's working the changeup. That curveball, fastball combo is just incredible, kind of keeping guys off balance. But that's kind of what I saw all day, was just kind of some off-balance swings. If he did get in trouble, you just command the zone well. I think that's the biggest thing. When you get able to put pressure on teams and get that first strike, it always leads to some good success.
Ben Rice broke the tie there in that seventh inning. What growth have you seen from him so far early in the season?
Even going back to spring training, just professional at-bats. He got a little taste of the big leagues. Did his thing last year, but I think coming in this year, he was a man on a mission. He talked about a lot of things he wanted to improve on in the offseason, and then he came in here and did it all. Had some success in spring training, made himself worked his way onto the team, and then now, being a bigger piece for the team, kind of being the leadoff guy for us has been pretty impressive.
You were out back when Rice hit that shot. What was your reaction?
I was excited. We couldn't really break through at all, and then for him to kind of break through in a big moment right there for us and kind of let the offense go out there and do its thing. It's just, we needed a big hit, and we were able to find it there. And a guy like that who he was 0 for 3 on the day, strikeout in his first at bat. He could have kind of cashed it in and kind of moved on to the next day, but he stayed locked in the whole game for us, and that was big time.
And you added the needed insurance.
Yeah, you gotta come up big when guys are on base like that, especially when the team, we're not able to get anything going. You got to contribute. For me, it's just about putting the ball in play right there. Put the ball in play, you can score a couple runs and help the team and keep the line moving. So in that situation, don't try to do too much. Just put in place, see what happens.
When Ben showed up in camp with more weight and muscle, did you notice a difference right away?
I didn't notice, really. I could hear the difference in the sound coming off his bat. But I feel like his mechanics were tightened up. He's always had a great eye, so it was cool to kind of see him put it all together so far this season.
Aaron, a lot was made for obvious reasons when Garrett was lost for the year. When you see that kind of a dominant performance from Fried, does that kind of give you guys the sense that, hey, we still have an ace in this room?
Oh, definitely. But no one can replace Cole. Garrett Cole's a 101. You could ask every guy in this room what he means to us, but you had a guy like Fried, who was an ace for the Braves for so long, and you bring him into our rotation and kind of pick up that slack for Cole has been incredible. We want 54 on the mound every night, that we can get. So it's just another gem by him, and we're just excited we get a couple runs there and take a win.
Goldsmith's been on base a couple times every game. What has he meant to this?
He's such a pro. What he's brought to this team, besides the performance on the field, I think just in the clubhouse, always speaking up in meetings, sharing his scouting reports, what he's thinking. Even for me, something I did with Gleyber Torres a lot, if he either struck out or got on base, just looking at him about what he's seeing the pitcher do or what he felt in the box, and, give me that information, helps the next guy behind me and the next guy behind them. So he's just been a huge piece for us, and he's really been kind of a catalyst for this offense, just kind of getting things going.